Hey, everybody. Welcome to another week, another class session of education, smeducation. I'm your host, Mike O'Keefe. We're doing well here. Everything's fine. Everything's good. I'm in Florida right now. I'm not getting COVID. I'm staying away from everybody. But Mallory, her parents are vacationing down here. And I'm not going to say it's because of their religion, but I'll let you decide that. Anyway, hey, Ken's here. What's up, Ken? How's it going, buddy?
What's up, man? Just really felt like you were going through something there for a second, man.
You know what? I like to start these off on the worst foot imaginable.
Yeah.
Every single week, people tune in and they say, "Listen, it's the opposite of WTF with Mark Maron. No one listens to the first 20 minutes of that because it's just him going crazy. Everyone wants to tune in to see how far off the fucking deep end I'm gonna go. See how much
it's like watching a kid fall down a hill, you know?"
Yeah. It's like children laying down on their side and rolling down a hill, and then when they get to the bottom, it's not the loving arms of their parent or guardian to hug. It's just a big tub of shit. That's
it's
what
just sticker bushes.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a 1916 British firing squad, and I am the great Patrick Pierce. I am Plunkett. I am James Connolly. Anyway, also, Rachel, we forgot. I'm sure everyone's written in. Hey, Ken didn't give a grade last week. Ken, what was our grade for last week?
Great last week. I love it when it gets real personal. No pressure there, but I love it when it gets real personal and people talk about their past and their trauma, and really get dark and scary for moments that I have to edit out because it's not great for listeners.
I will say our guest this week has never talked about his past or his trauma with anyone.
Perfect.
There's never been a more closed off guest. The art of the deflection starts and ends with this week's guest. But what were you gonna give us the letter, baby?
It was an A. It was a great episode.
Yeah,
definitely give it an A for sure.
Yeah, an A for Ben Roy, the only A he's ever gotten in his life, I'm sure. He'll be the first to admit. It's nice to have a podcast where you've had multiple guests who have not graduated high school when your podcast is about school. I'm not telling tales out of school. They'll mention it. Speaking of dropping out of high school, this guy should have dropped out of high school and gone to cool guy class because
God.
He's one of the funniest dudes. One of my favorite comics in the Zoom room right now. He's a lovely man. His album, which is called, and I can't believe I have to say this out loud, his album is called Prodigal Little Bitch. It drops on January 10th. Geoff Asmus is here. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, hello, Mike. What an introduction.
I thought it was pretty good. It's one of my better introductions.
It was pretty good.
There's no weekly show that I can host, so I have to do this.
You got to let the dead air out in your brain.
I can't do
that air. Yeah, I get it. The king of the deflection, you call me.
You are. You are.
Who call me Jeff Hornacek.
That's not what Jeff Hornacek did.
He does it all.
Good at stealing?
Not what he did at all.
I think he was good at stealing. I think that's true. I might have made that up.
I think you made that up.
I think he was more. Okay. Jeff Hornacek was a wing who could shoot a three.
Yeah.
And he could wear a short well into.
Stockton stole a lot.
John Stockton stole the ball. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take it back. Okay. I take back the reference.
I appreciate it.
I just wanted another Jeff.
Who do you think is the best Jeff athlete of all time?
Wow. There aren't many.
There really aren't. Would you count Jeff Gordon from NASCAR?
I don't count that. I'm not going to count that. Did Jeff Dye? Wasn't he a pretty good baseball player? That was Jermaine Dye. Damn.
Jeff Dye is a comedian.
Jeff Dye is a comedian. Yeah. There aren't many. Oh no. I actually can't think of a single good Jeff athlete.
I almost said Jeff Stackhouse. Then I remembered that was a kid.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Jeff Stackhouse was a kid who lived on my dorm floor. Sophomore.
We're not an athletic name.
It's really not.
We're like the Jews of names.
In that case, I will see you down in Florida this week, my friend.
I knew what you were insinuating.
Everyone did. Come on.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, you went to college for 15 years?
You sound like my mother. What, is this your 15th year in college, young man?
I couldn't remember, so I went super high.
I think I went for 6 years. 1 year I just got drunk and failed every class, though. That year didn't count. That was a dark time. I failed Buddhism somehow.
How'd you fail Buddhism?
I don't know. I wasn't Zen. I don't know how you do it.
Isn't that like against Buddhism to fail?
Yeah. You'd think they would just
the
pass
concept
me.
of Buddhism doesn't involve failing at all.
There is no failure.
They're like, we don't want you to reincarnate. We don't want you. Get you out of the fucking samsara loop. Get out.
You're a bug forever. That is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I went to college for 6 years. I think 6 years. Yeah. University of Wisconsin-Madison, the greatest college in America.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Didn't you go to Michigan State?
I went to Michigan State. I wouldn't say we're definitely not the greatest.
Yeah, because you're not. Yeah. I'm glad you don't want to lie. That's good.
I definitely don't want to lie to these people. It's the last thing I want to do. I kind of feel the same way about me doing stand-up. Like, there's 2 or 3 years in there that just don't.
Oh, yeah. I would say more than that for you, for sure.
Oh. Beep, bop, boop.
I consider my whole career
that's deflecting, baby.
My whole career has been wasted thus far. I haven't even had...
Did you like switch majors? You didn't know what you wanted to do? Why?
Yeah, I wanted to be an English major. Then I realized that was absolutely the lamest thing you can do. And then I decided, then I picked history and religion, which in retrospect was probably as lame, if not worse. So
yeah.
I got 3 majors, 4 minors, but was it worth it? Probably not. Probably not.
Who's to say?
I kind of scammed them. I figured out which classes would count for the most different things at once and then took a perfectly organized course schedule.
I mean, as a guy who accidentally got a minor in film, I know exactly what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah. It turns out...
When you apply for jobs, what do you put as your major then?
What a question.
I put down history, religion, and languages and cultures of Asia.
Okay.
None of them help out. And I also don't apply to many jobs.
Okay. You say history, religion, cultures of Asia, and they say yes.
And they say yes, we love you at WAG.
Yeah.
I used to be one of the greatest WAG walkers in history.
Yes. Please don't drop the leash or the shit anywhere.
I did. I had a dog run away. I had to chase him down the street for like a mile. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So I had a very similar thing happen when I walked dogs in the Twin Cities. How did this happen to you, Geoff?
He was a big dog and I didn't realize how strong he was and how weak I am. I think it was a little bit of both. It was pretty embarrassing.
How did you catch him?
A
big net.
He gave up. He gave up. I didn't catch him. He gave up. Okay. He's like, okay, game's over.
Yeah. I lost a dog in Minneapolis when I walked dogs in Northeast for, let's call it 3 or 4 months. And
walking dogs is the greatest job I've ever had. It's amazing.
Chicago dog walking is the best.
I would walk them for 10 minutes and then just chill on their couch for 20 minutes. That's all I did.
100%.
I could have robbed every single apartment in Chicago.
There's so much weed that I didn't take from people's coffee.
I know. I really regret how good I was looking back. These people were so rich, and I didn't take anything.
They're spending money on shit, literally on shit.
If you have a dog and you can't walk it, you shoot the dog. You don't. The whole point of having a dog is walking it. That's the fun part.
That's the whole part.
That's
yeah.
the
whole point.
Exactly. Why?
I'd go in people's houses and there'd be like a mom and dad and 3 kids watching TV, and they're like, "Well, the dog's out back."
Yeah.
What, you're watching a Big Bang Theory. You can't walk the fucking dog. That would piss me off.
But I mean, you ever run into a good Big Bang Theory?
They are good. They are good. Not as good as young Sheldon. Not as good as young Sheldon.
Man, he's so young. I every time I see the trailer on CBS on NFL football, I go, "Oh my god, he's so young."
It's the sequel, Pubescent Sheldon.
Man, he's gonna get angry. He's gonna really.
Yeah. Is he gonna lose his virginity? That would rip.
That would be amazing. Oh my god. If young Sheldon does like I have to lose my virginity by prom American.
He has to come on a prime numbered pump.
I missed 67. Shit.
Ooh, 67. That was a good one. That was a pretty high prime, actually.
Listen, come on, get out of here.
Wow. Okay.
Come on. What are you doing here?
Not bad, O'Keefe.
Thank you. But if you're a comedian out there and you're not walking dogs, you're missing out, baby.
It's over. The golden age is over. Dog walking's over.
I think dog walking is done.
It'll never happen again.
Now with COVID, I didn't.
No one's gonna let a stranger in their house anymore. Once the Civil War starts, too, they'll have different wags for which side you're on. Each militia will have its own wag app.
So, I mean, you're obviously going to be the QAnon exclusive dog walker.
Yeah, exactly. I love QAnon. Those are the dumbest human beings to ever live.
Well, as a history guy, do you think there's ever been like this version of basically 2 different medias in a weird way, and that are so diametrically opposed? Has there ever been anything like this in history where there's 2 different sets of facts, Geoffrey?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think we're living in a completely unique time that's absolutely scary and terrifying.
That's been Geoffrey Asmus. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Absolutely terrifying. I try not to think about it.
It really is. Well, I mean, it's all of this stuff is happening, and then on top of it, the environment's going to shit, and it's Anyway,
I don't believe in global warming. Okay, I didn't come on here to hear from a fucking libtard about how the snow's melting. If it's so hot, how come my penis is cold and soft?
How does your penis get cold, Geoffrey?
I don't know. It's always cold down there.
Oh man.
Global warming. I want some crotch warming.
The fuck are you talking? I love it.
I can't stop what I say.
I know.
Can I just give a grade already? Like this?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're getting C's for cum.
No cum talk. I'm past cum talk.
Yeah. Oh, you graduated.
I'm over cum talk.
It took you 6 years, and you finally
graduated. Talk about cum almost every day for 6 years. I'm finally over it.
So you're going back to school now. You're going to be a teacher. Obviously, I have to not become a teacher now because of the last 20 minutes of this show.
Yeah. Yeah, you're laughing at this shit. You're complicit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. I'm the getaway driver of both of our future careers.
We have no future.
Yeah, come on. Well, we're joining up. We're whoever takes dudes with beards and cardigans, that's the team I have to be.
Yeah. Now that I see your beard, though, I got to get rid of mine.
Why?
I don't want to be lumped in with you.
I'm nice.
I don't want to be one of those guys who grows a beard because he's running out of hair up there. I don't want to be that guy. Mike, you're running out of hair.
I cut it. I got a haircut recently, and it's still thick through here. But if I cut it, I look like I might be in the military.
Your hairline is retreating like the trenches in World War I. Just like slowly and relentlessly, but you cannot win. You're the Germans in World War I. You have no chance.
I have a Kaiser hairline. That's what.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Your November 1919 will come.
Oh, of course. Then a couple years later, we're hanging out in beer halls. We're getting everything back together.
In the beer hall putsch. Oh yeah, we had our little coup a couple weeks ago. That ripped.
Oh, how'd you feel about it?
That was the greatest day of my entire life. That was. I mean, it was. I wasn't happy about it, but it was the most interesting day of my life. I mean, it was like I've been waiting for a military coup my entire life. I cannot. I've read about them, and then Trump just did the worst one.
It was
an insult. It was an insult to all the coups before him. It was
definitely a Trump level coup. Like,
yeah, that's what it was. He'd been given everything his entire life. He just thought they'd give him a coup. He's like, I don't have to do any work. Man, it'll just happen, right? That'll do the coup.
He went in and it was a bunch of some of the ugliest people I've ever seen.
Yeah, really. He got the real cream of the crop.
My favorite one, and it's been what, 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now?
I think 3 weeks, yeah.
My favorite one is the old lady who has like a very weird sweater on, and she's just kind of like hiding behind a pole. I have a picture of her on my phone because I find her so fascinating. And I have an impression of her that I'd like to do for everyone.
Okay.
And I've gotten to the point where I've done it around the house enough where Mal has said, you need to stop doing this voice.
Wow. Have you ever heard her voice?
No, of course not. But this lady.
Okay. Wow, her head's really small for her body.
Right?
And I don't like that.
This is how she sounds. Hello, boys. Would you like some soup? That's what she says.
She was the soup lady. She was just looking for a cup of soup at the Capitol.
Yeah. I have horse hoof chowder for you.
Oh.
I have raccoon bisque.
Wow, those are some Irish classics there.
Yes. And I have the cream of grapeseed oil.
Anyway. Wow.
That's probably good for your skin.
That's a good character. I can see why Mallory hates it.
Like we also, me and Mel signed on a house today. Very exciting. But she said, we can get this house, but that character lives in the guest room.
Wow, you signed on a house.
Yeah.
In Chicago?
In Chicago, of course, in Chicago.
Oh, good. What neighborhood?
Roscoe.
Gold Coast.
No, Roscoe.
Oh,
I'm a man of the people now. Roscoe.
Okay. Good for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm so happy for you.
So you're in school. Why, when you're in high school before you get to college?
Yes.
And you float out, hey, I'm thinking of becoming a history major. What is everyone saying to you? And is there anyone that could have talked you out of such a terrible decision?
I think it was a good decision. And I think it's America's problem that it's a bad decision. I think everyone should learn more about history. And
I don't disagree. I 100%
should be
agree.
Financially incentivized more. But also you have to live with the reality, and I probably shouldn't have done it. But no one could have.
I agree with everything you're saying.
I love history too much. It was going to happen no matter what. I've been reading Wikipedia every day since I was 14. I'm not gonna. Don't hate on that. Don't hate on Wikipedia.
I'm not. But you're also writing history, which I think is important as well.
True. How am I writing history?
Wikipedia.
You're on Wikipedia.
Oh, Wikipedia. Right. Duh. I do edit sometimes.
Geoffrey.
I don't know how I didn't catch that. That was embarrassing. I think Wikipedia is the last good thing on the internet. It's the only thing that's nonpartisan on the internet. It's the only thing that's like doesn't have an agenda. I mean, there's a few other good things. There's some good porn too, But besides
Rank
that,
it. Rank the porn.
I actually don't watch porn. We don't have to get into that, but
You shouldn't. It's
We don't have to get into
I don't want to
that.
get into it.
don't worry. We most certainly will not, my friend.
I don't want to get into it. Porn grosses me out. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. It just makes it. None of the porn looks like my sex. None of the porn looks even close to what I'm doing in the bedroom.
Is this one of your bits you're about to go into? What are you
No,
talking-
it's not. But I just maybe I'll write it down.
I feel like it should be.
It
That
sounded
could be
like
a
you were doing one of your classic setups where you say the same sentence 12 times in a row.
Yeah, they call me the setup king. No one can write a setup like Geoff. He can never figure out the punchline, but you're interested in where he's going.
You're like, oh, the news. All right. Okay. All right. Still the
Oh.
news? Oh, great.
I have a captivating voice.
Yeah.
I'm going to write down porn on my computer. That'll turn into a gem one day.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go to high school, Mike?
I went to,
I'm turning the tables. I'm interviewing you now.
oh, no. My worst nightmare. A Detroit Catholic Central. In,
I was about to ask if it was a religious school or not.
oh, yeah. Very religious. All
You
boys.
guys got uniforms?
Not only do we have uniforms, we had to wear them. Right.
As
Jesus.
opposed to the other Catholic schools
mean
that just had the
Yeah.
uniform.
They just had them in their closet.
We didn't have a uniform as much as we had a dress code. The dress code was you had to wear a shirt with a collar and pants that weren't jeans.
Oh yeah, we couldn't wear jeans. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you went to you went to like a Christian academy or something, right?
I don't think I would call it that. I don't know about. No, it's
What
just
would
a
you call it?
Catholic school academy. I don't know. They were really good at hockey. It was like a hockey school, even though I didn't play hockey, so it doesn't make sense. But
Well, because you grew up right outside the cities, the Twin
yeah,
Cities.
Twin Cities, Minnesota. Yeah, yeah. Great place. I love the uniforms. The uniforms were rocked. If I
I
would have picked what I wore in high school, I would have probably gotten beat up and killed.
Dude, I
think it
would
saved
have
my life.
I would have had zero friends.
Yeah, I would have. I had very few friends, but if I chose what I wore, I would be in a gutter right now.
Still, like so many years later, you're still in that gutter. Like nobody.
Yeah.
moved.
No one's
No
helped
one
me.
would get me out. I'd still be in my.
No one's
big,
ever extended a hand.
Nope, I'd still be there. I'd still be in my big Def Leppard T-shirt. They'd never find me. I'd never get out.
Well, you like Def Leppard so much because in high school you were a strip club DJ, and I think that was a very
Well,
brave.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I love Def Leppard because they fucking rock, dude. I had a huge hair metal phase in high school.
Why? That's such a weird thing to like.
I don't know. I thought
not
it was kind of fun if you. Yeah, I still kind of like it. It's kind of fun.
I
It's
mean,
not good.
I should tell you I have a Metallica T-shirt on right now, but I only have a
That's
Metallica.
not hair metal. That's not hair
It's not.
metal.
It's not hair metal. But they are bad, and I want everyone.
No, Metallica's very good. What are you talking about?
I
They're
have a
so
Metallica
talented.
T-shirt.
They're bad people, but they're talented.
They're definitely dicks.
They're very bad people.
So I have this T-shirt because I was doing Skyline in Appleton, Wisconsin. Shout out to all the
Skyline. Love Skyline.
all the great Skyline fans. Shout out to Bridget, one of the best managers in the game.
Wow, you little brown nosing bitch.
Yeah, yes, the managers of comedy clubs love podcasts.
Yeah.
Especially comics podcasts.
Especially,
Yeah. They've never heard one before.
yeah. Just go, oh my god, they're talking. I love it. I can't fucking wait. But my toothpaste fucking exploded in my backpack, and so like 3 shirts got ruined.
Oh
And
my God.
I went to the Target in Appleton, and guess what? A plain black T-shirt, you could get one for $6, or on sale Metallica T-shirt $4.
$4. You take the $4 T-shirt every
Metallica, baby. I ride the lightning all the way to the bank.
time. And you wore that on stage?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here's what I started to do towards if I was going from work to the show out of town, I would hang up my shirt in the back seat on the little like.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah. I always wondered what that was for. And
For your shirts.
yeah, I know that now. I thought it was. I didn't know what it was for. Dragging people behind the car or something.
So you're in high school, and look. I'm so good at bringing it back to the.
Yeah.
When did you? So you always loved history.
Always loved it.
Do you remember when that started? And do you remember anything that came that happened in your life that made you really dive into it and really press the gas on?
My grandpa was obsessed with that shit.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop talking about the Civil War. And the older I get, I wonder which side he was rooting for. He could tell you which regiment was on which hill on which day, and
oh wow!
And I always thought that was cool. So then I tried to know as much as him. My whole life is a journey to try to know more than him, and I think I've passed him recently.
Oh really? Okay.
He refuses to read books that are not about straight white men, and it's not even just straight white men. I mean straight American white men. I brought him a book about Mikhail Gorbachev, and he wouldn't read it. He's like, I can't read that.
Just because he was a communist.
Just because he was a Russian.
Oh my God.
I bought him People's History of the United States, and he said it was a communist. He couldn't read it.
There's so many other. It turns out, Geoff, I don't know if you know this, more than just Europe existed in the past.
Did you know that? It is. It's amazing how few people know that, honestly.
Yeah, it's nuts.
In school, nuts. I'm glad I had my books, because boy, did we not get taught history in any capacity.
Dude,
not even remotely.
I really feel like, I mean, would you say that your history classes in school, do you think that at a certain point they were kind of focused on making us more patriotic in a way?
Oh yeah. Especially not all of them, but a lot of them. Especially, I mean, I was in 5th or 6th grade in 9/11, definitely.
I was
the next day they were like, there's bin Laden, Muslims are pretty bad mostly, and that's what we went with.
Yeah.
It was not good.
I was
a huge conservative in high school.
Yeah.
Because you're too young, you're too dumb to know any better. You don't know.
Had no idea. I stopped. Everything kind of changed for me politically when I found out that all the bands I liked weren't conservative.
Oh wow.
Like this big like light switch where it was like, oh wait, maybe there's other sides to the coin.
You learned who the Dropkick Murphys voted for. That was
there was a compilation CD called it was called Rock Against Bush that came out in 2003, and it was like, oh wait, some people don't think the way that my dad thinks. This is nuts.
Yeah, I know.
My dad's not like this authority on politics. That's
it's amazing how dads will really suck you in.
Boy.
And now I realize my dad's an idiot, because he's all Trump. He's all on board.
Really?
He's a smart guy, but he's gotten tricked by the internet. He has really fallen off the deep end. He said he'll never vote again because the elections are too fraudulent.
Fantastic.
And I'm like, okay, I guess it worked, kind of.
My mom didn't vote in this last one, and I was like, you know what? I think that's probably the best case scenario.
Oh yeah, you got one too. A Trump mama.
She never liked him, but I think they voted for Trump in 2016. I know why. They voted for Trump in 2016 because of the Benghazi scandal.
Oh God, that one's the lamest shit.
It was super lame. Four people died. Good God. 4 people died storming the Capitol.
That's a bad mall shooting.
Yeah.
That's not even a bad one. That's like
really not.
It's like a mediocre mall shooting.
Yeah, it's a mediocre mall shooting. Yeah.
Like a quarter of a Columbine. It's not good.
Yeah. We're gonna have some. I'm surprised we haven't had a mass shooting in a while.
I mean, no one can leave the house, Geoffrey.
Well, that's just in like Florida and Texas, though. They're out. They're out and about.
They very much are out. They're out in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're out in Wisconsin. I think we're just smart and we know vaguely intelligent people, so we think we're in a bubble. But a lot of people are going to strip clubs and living their life now. It's kind of odd.
I think strip clubs are completely off the table for me now. Like it's
yeah.
ever.
Yeah, you can't go back to strip clubs after this. No.
Yeah.
You gotta do a Zoom strip club.
That's a thing that's happening.
I'm sure it is. Well, that's what OnlyFans kind of is in the end.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But anyway, so you like history? Was there
here he goes back the Mr. Segue.
Was there, when you're in school, is there a teacher? Is there some sort of authority figure that's kind of stoking this, or is this just you and Gramps?
That was honestly pretty much me. I always thought history class was kind of boring. They really don't do a good job. Probably because the curriculum they're given sucks, but yeah. I don't think it's entirely their fault. And also, teachers aren't necessarily the smartest people. It's just something I've learned as I get older. Most people become teachers because they can't do other things.
Hell yeah, baby.
Not because it's their dream. Not saying you're not a good one, Mike, but a lot of teachers are dumb.
I will be as open about this as possible. I had a pandemic fall right into my lap while I was working for a company that sold technology to restaurants and was a touring stand-up comedian. I was thrown a real turd burger trying to make it into a turd salad.
Oh, trying to make the pandemic about you, I see. I'm Michael James O'Keefe, the only man who suffered in a global pandemic.
First off, you know my middle name is Sean.
I actually don't know. Patrick, I think.
It's Sean Patrick, you piece of shit. I have two names.
Sean
I'm a special boy.
I just didn't want to stop the riff with facts.
I appreciate it. Well, facts don't care about the riff's feelings.
Facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah.
I love it. But no, I'm the only person to ever be affected by this pandemic. Everyone else is just, licking lollipops.
I've had the best year of my life. Absolutely. If people who don't enjoy the pandemic is just because you don't like finally hearing the thoughts in your head.
That's true. They say only boring people get bored. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Sucky people have sucky years. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You have all the time in the world to do everything you've ever wanted. I mean, of course, money sucks, but you learn to live without it. But besides that, you learn. I'm on food stamps. It rips. It's awesome.
I guess it's kind of a bummer to be scared to go outside.
I mean, there are very bad things happening. It's trying to put a positive spin, Mike. Okay. I know there's a pandemic and everyone's dying, blah, 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 blah.
I started watching The Leftovers. That's a good show. The pandemic's great.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but good. That's about the end of the world. Actually, I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's a little bit about the end of the world, and it's mostly about Justin Theroux looking like a real hot version of me.
How could it be a hot version of you? You're already so hot.
There's one who doesn't have a perfectly square-shaped head. How does this happen?
Yeah, there's a new app called Can You Make Mike O'Keefe Hot? Where little kids have to design an outfit. Can you make this man presentable?
It's just a picture of me going like this.
Yeah.
Can you?
Is there a deodorant in the world that can cage this man?
What a dick.
I have problems too. We all have problems.
Oh, I've missed this. I've missed having my ass handed to me.
That is what we don't get from not doing stand-up. We don't get roasted anymore.
No more roasting.
Everyone's getting such a big ego not being around people roasting them. You got to bring people down a little bit.
You really do. You really do. I've been feeling way too good about myself lately. I call up Ken. I say, Ken, tell me how dumb my gut is. And Ken goes, it's really dumb. And I go, thank you, Ken.
You needed that. You need that sometimes. Hubris before the fall. Can't have it.
You do. Well, when you study history on Wikipedia, you're Wikipedian things.
I love it every day.
What's like your favorite rabbit hole to go down into?
Favorite rabbit hole to go down? What did I find recently? Oh, I was looking at language. I think languages that are extinct is very fascinating. Like the last person to speak a language. That's got to be the most horrifying feeling in the world, to be the only person that knows your language left. I mean, you're just like you're like an alien. You're basically not human anymore. You're your own thing. It's so sad.
It's like a minor step up from having your own secret language that you made up.
Yeah, it's basically like people are like, well, they might as well have made it up.
Yeah.
Might as well have made up your language that's been spoken for 10,000 years.
Yeah. It's just
like every month a language goes extinct.
Really? What was this month's language?
It's always in, I could look it up. It's always in the Amazon.
It's like the word of the day, but it's
yeah, you just pull out every month on your calendar, you rip off another thing, and it's like, oh, Arimatheic is gone or what.
Yeah. That's a good calendar right there. You can do that for extinct species too. Yeah.
They're not speaking Gaelic and Donegal, Ireland anymore.
No, Gaelic's on the rise.
Gaelic's doing very well. Well, here's why Gaelic's doing well. And this is one of the few things I have an opinion on. And no. Number one, the EU having everyone have their own language in the chambers, and then Ireland picking Gaelic was pretty huge. And then that led to it coming back into the schools pretty hardcore, because it used to, like, there was kind of this, joke's a strong word, but there was a thing that people in Ireland would say that everyone knew how to say, can I go to the bathroom in Gaelic? Because the only way you can go to the bathroom in schools in Ireland, the only way the teacher would let you would be if you asked in Gaelic. But now people are into it because the government isn't in the hands of the papacy anymore. And people are excited about being Irish again.
You had that big pedophile scandal, and you finally broke free.
For sure. And there's a gay prime minister. It's lovely.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gayer than a $3 bill, and he's doing a great job. We love him.
Have you been to Ireland?
Have I been to Ireland? Jeffrey, get out of here. I'm in line to get a second passport right now. I've been to Ireland 6 times.
Okay.
I've done sets there. I've worked there under the counter.
Really?
Got a ton of family.
I've never done comedy there. That'd be fun.
Did you say you've done sets there or had sex there?
Yeah.
I mean, both are true.
Oh.
I think I heard sex too, now that I'm thinking about it.
I've done stand-up comedy. And I've done a lay down comedy.
Wow. It's because it's funny what you do in bed.
Yes. Well,
do you do a little bit?
I wear Groucho glasses when I do.
Oh my God.
It's for protection.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, I know Ireland very well. Newmarket, County Cork. This is another fun fact. When I had my CD out, the only retail store to ever carry Mike O'Keefe's Wherever They'll Have Me was the Newmarket Video Rental Library in Newmarket, County Cork, Ireland.
Wow.
My uncle owned it, and I sent him a box, and I said, please sell these. And I think they sold 3, and then they took them off the shelf.
Hey, that's good. You're big in Ireland.
Yeah. And it's like, do you want me to send you the €30? And I said, yeah, keep that.
Wow. That's rocks. I lived in Ireland for 3 months. Ireland's pretty cool.
I remember, you studied abroad over there.
I did. Dublin, Trinity College.
It's a good school.
I don't remember any of it, but I blacked out every single day I was in Ireland.
It's a good time.
It is a good. They are
Were you
fun.
Just in Ireland? Were you just in Ireland? You go other places, or
we went to Scotland and we went to Liverpool too.
Oh, you see the Beatles.
Yeah, and Belfast. Went to Belfast too.
The beach. Belfast is a fascinating city.
That's a dump. That's a dump. It's an industrial dump. That's just a big steel yard. That's Ireland's Pittsburgh.
I love it.
I did not
go to the docks or anything.
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I literally don't remember most of it, but I remember not liking Belfast.
I had a nice time.
And here's the thing, Mike, different people can like different things.
That's very true. That's what we're learning here on education.
One of the big lessons of life. One of the big lessons.
For example, a lot of people are going to like this podcast, are not going to like this episode.
Well, you didn't have to do that. I give. My thing is I dish. I can't take.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? I thought we knew that.
We can't do that to Daddy. We can't.
I'll let you know. I've been opening up recently. I've been therapy finally, and I am a new man.
How is that going?
You got to do therapy. There's no reason you should go through life and not do therapy.
How long have you been doing it? How's it been?
Was it January? Like September, I think, maybe August, maybe.
Okay. What made you get into therapy?
Everyone in my life has told me for quite some time. It's actually amazing it took this long.
Did anyone when you were in school, did anyone say, Geoff, you should probably go talk to her?
I did go to counseling in college, but I feel like it used to be called counseling and now it's called therapy. I don't know what happened there.
Well, are you talking about like a guidance counselor or like?
No, in like
a counselor in college. Yeah, they have them.
Yeah, they had them at Madison. They had therapy. I think it's the same thing, but they called it counseling.
Yeah. It was like free and it
was free. It was free too. Yeah. And I didn't take it seriously and I just abused the medicine they gave me and whatever. It was really bad.
Grad student talk. It's weird.
Grad student. Yeah. Yeah. Mike, when's the segue going to get to grad school?
We're not done talking about all the things you don't want to talk about from high school.
Oh yeah. I had a great high school experience.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so this is something that I do definitely want to bring up. You with the ladies in high school.
Huh. What was it like?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
You if you do, please reminisce with us about your prom date. What happened with that situation?
Oh, prom. I could say it didn't go well. I was too shy. I didn't know what to do with women. I didn't understand it.
Did you know you were funny yet?
I was very fun. No, I was very funny in high school. Okay. I was the class. I was a nerd, but I was so funny that cool kids respected me.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But I was there was the jock class clown and I was the smart class clown. That was he got pussy and I just got laughs or whatever.
So he was like Dane Cook.
Yeah. He was more physical comedy. I was more cerebral comedy.
Yeah. You were people were oh man, listen, fucking whatever. Dane Cook's fine. You got to check out David Cross.
Yeah. That's actually kind of what. Yeah. Except I was a loser. I thought drinking alcohol was evil until college. We made fun of kids for drinking alcohol.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was weird.
I made fun of kids in the beginning of high school. I made fun of kids who smoked weed.
Yeah, we made fun of kids for smoking weed too.
Yeah, and then I did it once and was like, oh, I totally get it.
Yeah, of course.
This is cool.
I thought it was the lamest thing, and then it changed my life. But
so you're funny, but you don't have any confidence from that. Why do you think you didn't have any confidence from it?
I didn't look good. I'm skinny now, but I was so skinny in high school, pale, that they called me chemo kid.
Ugh. What the? Oh man, that's so weird.
That's fucking great.
It's a great nickname. It was only for 1 year, but it was pretty on the track team. And if you're skinny on track, they're already skinny. I was so skinny that I stood out on track.
And if you're pale in Minnesota.
And I'm pale in Minnesota at a quite white school.
Yeah.
I really stood out.
In what suburb were you in? Forest Grove?
I was in White Bear Lake, I think, or Maplewood. I don't remember exactly.
Why would you remember your hometown?
Well, no, that's the town the high school was in was different than the town.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I can't remember what town it was in.
I had the same situation. Okay, that's so nuts though.
Yeah,
Um,
not the best nickname, but
did other kids have these crazy nicknames?
no, that was kind of my nickname. I kind of,
losers.
yeah,
All right, cool jock Ken, get out of here.
yeah, yeah. I was the only one with a terminal illness based nickname.
But like this is such a dorky, lame question to ask. But was there a lot of bullying at your high school, Geoffrey?
I wouldn't think so at the time, but looking back, there was, and I honestly bullied a lot of people, to be honest.
All right, I love it.
Really.
Thank you for admitting it. What's your go-to? How would you bully kids?
Well, there was this one kid. So our high school hockey is huge in Minnesota.
It is a bigger religion than not talking about your feelings. They love it.
Yeah, it's bigger than professional hockey, honestly. And like we would get a week off it doesn't matter, but there was this kid who really wanted to be on the hockey team, but he just wasn't good enough. So he was the water boy every year. And he was like slavishly devoted to the hockey players. He just like worshiped the hockey players and would do everything they asked him to. He was like their little bitch. And we carved his name in every single desk in the school. And then he would just continually be brought to the principal's office for carving his name in the desks for 4 years. And they never figured out who did it. Pat Boyd. We wrote Pat Boyd like 1,000 times in the school. And he was brought to the principal's office like every week of high school. And we would just brutally mock him. And
I know the answer now, but like, first off, if you'd like to apologize to this young man, go for it.
I think I did. I think I did at the end. Maybe.
Okay. But that's such a weird,
stupidest prank.
First off, it's a great prank.
We would also write Pat Boyd fucks goats in the bathroom a lot.
Why is that making me laugh?
I don't know. It's really funny. But
that's funny.
There was like 5 people, and we just did it. Yeah, it was. I don't know. We were really mean to him.
Oh man,
he was just like if you saw him, you'd be like, I get it.
Was he like? Did he just have like one of those faces?
Just like the way he like fawned at the hockey players while not being one of them. He thought he was a hockey player, but he was the water boy. And they would they so clearly hated him and mocked him, and he still loved them. And it was one of the saddest things. And then of course we had to beat the horse that was falling down.
Of course.
That's how humans work.
That horse was in the grave and you were still tapping on it.
We were still hitting it. And he was kind of ugly too. I mean, I wasn't great looking, but he was kind of dumpy looking.
You were better looking than Pat Boyd.
I was better looking than Pat Boyd. So if you're low on the totem pole, it's more of a competition with those below you.
Definitely.
So you gotta attack them. We were really mean to one Asian kid, and that was bad too. That was just us being racist. If I can look back and be honest, it's what it was. It was. I'll admit it. It was bad. Yeah. It was bad.
There was one kid who I forget his name, but he had like just a regular sedan, and he accidentally put diesel in it.
Oh Jesus!
This is like end of sophomore year, and he was like one of the first kids to get a license at our school, and we called him Diesel for the next 2 years. To the point
that ruined the car.
Yes, it ruined the car, and it was like, fuck it. I'm sure his parents did whatever they did to him, and like he didn't have a car the rest of high school, but we called him Diesel all the time, and
that's trauma. That's trauma. Yeah. That was probably a $5,000 mistake he made, at least.
At the
very least. And then our reunion was a couple years ago. Our 10-year reunion, and his name tag said Diesel.
Did you have it? You had a reunion?
Yeah. Well, I'm 18, 28.
We never did it. I thought Facebook kind of ruined those.
No, we had one. Nobody went to it though.
Oh, you had one too?
Yeah, I didn't go to it. I was like in Chicago, but actually, even the people that were like still in Washington, nobody went. I think like 20 people out of our like 500-person graduating class.
Yeah.
Oh, that's about the percentage I would have expected.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Uh,
I don't think anyone went to ours. Yeah.
The guy who our class president was like one of my really good buddies, and like he came to my dad's funeral. It was like a great dude, and I think everyone who went because everyone liked our class president, and they were like, "Oh, it would be rude to Ronnie if we didn't
Wow, you've
go."
got to have a good personality to bring people back from a decade ago.
Yeah, pretty nuts. But it was like
people hooking up. Were people hooking up?
No.
What?
No. All boys. All boys.
Oh, it was an all boys
that's right.
school.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all boys.
Did
But
you have like your sister school like a half mile down the street?
we had three in the area. There was Mercy, that was 2 towns away. Ladywood was a town away, and then there was one called Merriam that was about 15 minutes.
You didn't. Dang, an all boys school. That's bad. That's just bad.
It was
a bad thing.
It was very weird. I remember I dated a public school girl for a little bit, and that earned me the reputation of bad boy.
That's like a big thing? That's like you don't date public school girls.
It wasn't. It was just like, everyone was just like, how did you meet her?
Oh, right.
How'd you even do that?
And how did you meet her, O'Keefe?
Did y'all not go outside? Like, is that a thing? Did you just like,
well,
we
like,
weren't allowed to walk outside.
all of the girls, like, we would have events with the girls' schools.
Yeah, you'd have like Sadie Hawkins dance.
Yeah, like these mixers essentially. But I met this girl from rock and roll concert,
okay.
Yeah, and she had a tattoo when we were in
Wait, you met her at a Matchbox 20 concert?
Yes. We met at the Matchbox 20 concerts. We met during Georgia Satellite's opening set, and we said,
wait, you did meet during Georgia Satellites?
No.
No,
I think we met at, honestly, this is going to sound really lame. We met at the Warp Tour.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
But
cool. Warp Tour was cool back then. That was cool.
Very cool. Now she's married to a way to go.
Yeah.
Haley McKinney.
Jesus, Mike.
No, she's great. No, she's an English teacher in right outside Detroit.
Is she smart?
That means
pause said everything. Pause said everything.
I mean, I haven't talked to this woman in 12 years. Was she smart back then? Sure.
Okay.
Whip smart. Brilliant.
Like, I mean, is she posting conspiracy theories?
No, I'm only friends with her on Instagram.
Oh, that's the good one. People look sane on Instagram.
It's very easy to not look like a crazy person on the gram.
It's Facebook and Twitter where that's where you see where people really are.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
100%.
Or Parler, my new favorite app.
Oh, Geoffrey.
I can't get enough of my conservative friends.
I'm fascinated by you being smelly in high school. Because
I was so stubborn that I wouldn't admit that smelling good mattered. My mom's like, yeah,
wow.
But on the other end, it's important. And I'd be like, it doesn't matter, Mom. Who cares? And then, of course, it does matter.
And there weren't none of your buddies at school were like you didn't get mercilessly roasted for being smelly.
No, they did, and I just didn't care. I'm such a devil's advocate that I was like, it's actually cool to smell bad. I bet Jack Kerouac smelled bad.
Wow.
He probably did.
He probably did. I don't know.
That guy was. I mean,
I was such a contrarian.
Head, fucking.
He probably did smell bad.
He probably smelled like absolute dog shit, but.
Yeah, I was an idiot.
My nose is burning right now just thinking about smelling Jack Kerouac.
Good.
That's amazing. Well, what turned it around? What made you start wearing deodorant?
I
Where's
mean,
this podcast gone?
I mean, eventually you go to college and you get out of your little bubble you've lived in for 18 years and you slowly learn what the world is and how to act.
Did you, when you were going off to college, did you think, oh, this is my opportunity to start over?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Even though I did have two good friends from high school in my dorm, but otherwise, yeah, it was pretty much like I'm done. I'm done with my childhood.
There were so many kids from my high school that went to state, but I think we all kind of had an unspoken agreement where that was basically like the last 4 years do not matter, and everything's just going to be great now.
Right. And that school's big enough. It's like 40,000. Madison too is like 40,000 people.
It was like moving to another planet, because it wasn't just. It wasn't.
I had never seen a Jewish person until I was 18.
Damn.
I honestly thought Jewish people were like a thing in the Bible, just that it was like it was over.
When you, I'm fascinated by that, honestly, because I had a very similar experience.
Yeah, I grew up very sheltered.
Yeah. What's that first conversation like when you did you say, hey, you're my first? What do you say?
I don't think I said that. I don't think I would do that. I think I had a little more tact than that.
Good for you. I applaud that.
I did end up going to Israel, and I love the Jewish people now. But
how'd you feel? How did you like Israel? Where did you go? What'd you see?
Well, actually, people in Israel are very rude, but they're very racist. They're very racist people.
They don't like people on the other side of a wall. Like,
yeah, Israel is basically apartheid, just with different races than South Africa. It's really bad. But they have great food and the women are beautiful. So that's good, I guess.
Like finding out that being pro-Israel and like you don't have to be pro-Israel if you're Jewish. And finding that out blew my mind.
That's something in history that you're really not. We really are taught the Israeli version of that conflict in school.
Oh yeah.
You're really not taught that the Palestinians, they were there. They were there for quite some time.
Long time.
And then the Jewish people are like, we have a book that says we're supposed to be here, actually.
Yeah, it's
not good.
It's kind of the equivalent of like if you're playing basketball at the rec center and then a bunch of people show up and they're like, hey, we reserved this court 15,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you mind? Yeah. They're just like, I have a stand here.
We called dibs 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, it's
a very odd situation. And obviously we're gonna
solve it.
We're gonna solve the Middle East peace crisis, right?
I think I'm in favor of a 2-state solution. How about you, Mike?
I think that's probably the way to go. What I really want is an arms de-escalation. I think that would be best for everyone involved. It's very tough to enforce that, but some sort of incentives might help. I don't know.
Maybe if we quit giving Israel $700 billion a year.
I mean, that would obviously be most of that de-escalation.
Yes.
Anyway, we're here. We're on geopolitical, schmeopolitical.
Oh, wow.
New podcast where a bunch of people who have read enough to think they know.
Yeah, exactly. We're experts.
Like they know.
We're experts. Yeah.
Jeff, this has been a blast. It's always, I feel like it's a treat to talk to you.
Kiss the ring, bitch.
I will say you are one of the 3 most quoted comedians in our house.
Really? Wow.
Here's why. I will.
Cosby, CK, Asmus.
Yes. Cosby, I say drink.
Great company.
That's what I say.
Yeah. I love his Spanish fly bit. Always got me.
No, but I will say very frequently, I'll call myself daddy and then say, it's me. I'm daddy.
Oh yeah. I love saying that. I think a lot of people do it now. I'm going to have to stop soon, but
Well, you were the.
I did it first. I did it first.
In Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah, maybe not in the world, yeah.
It's that we quote Sarah Squirm had a bit where she talks about the song Imagine by John Lennon, where she goes, "You remember the man who sang Imagine All the People? He died." That comes up probably once a month.
Sarah's one of the funniest people in the world. That didn't do it justice, but
it really didn't. But Squirm is
that sounded a lot like your White House lady character.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. The White House lady is a real person.
Yeah, she's doing stand up too.
That, and of course, and yeah. But anyway, those, yeah. Anyway,
who's the third one?
CK, we already discussed this.
No, I forgot. No, it's Cronin. It's our buddy Mike Cronin.
Oh, I know Mike.
Yeah, when he's he does that bit where he goes, he's like, "Oh, there's these banana cream cupcakes," and I bit into him. I said, "I don't think this is real cum," and I'll say, "I don't think this is real cum when I eat anything."
That's a fun life quote. That's a good one.
Anyway, I can't believe I mentioned all that, and then you guys held my feet to the flames. How dare you? Jeffrey, it's time for the quiz. Are you ready, buddy?
Okay, the quiz. Give it to me. I love being graded.
My friend, you told us that you got a degree in religion. So for this, I very quickly Googled some Bible.
Okay. I actually like this. Okay.
Some Bible trivia question.
Yeah, that's very Western centric to think that the Bible is the only thing you could study in a religion degree. Okay, interesting. How about you bring up the Vedas or the Bhagavad Gita, you prick?
I think listen. There's a place down here that does a delicious Bhagavad Gita. It's so good. it's fire roasted and seals in the juices. It is
Bhagavad Pita.
That's that's how you say Merry Christmas in Spanish. Anyway.
Give me the quiz. I actually want this. I'm excited for this.
It's very exciting. All right. Question number 1. Also, Jeff's playing for my block, my hood, my city. That is our go-to charity when people don't have a charity, but it's also a charity that Jeff supports.
That's so bizarre. That's very odd.
Anyway, shout out to Jamal. And they're actually doing they're doing volunteer events for like pickup and snow shoveling. So follow them and help out your city, you Jags. If you
do something.
Yeah, come on, get off your ass. Anyway, here's question number 1. What tribe is Paul from?
Paul, okay. What tribe? Wow, that's too much. Okay, there's 12 guesses. Let's say Levi.
Benjamin.
Okay, that's a ridiculous question.
I Googled it.
Okay, do another one. That was like I'm not some fucking god nerd.
I actually knew the second one from my favorite musical, but who is the high priest of Jerusalem who put Jesus on trial?
Caiaphas.
That's Caiaphas. Caiaphas. The council waits for you.
What is that from? Jesus Christ Superstar?
Jesus Christ Superstar. Ken, join in.
I've never seen it. I just know that song.
I don't know that at all.
You should.
Is it good? I've never seen it. I just know that song.
It's the first. So I low-key like musical theater. And
you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's pure fun and joy. But that was like the first musical I saw live. And I like could follow it because I went to Catholic school, and I was like, "Oh, this really." And it just my childhood. I love it.
Yeah.
This is I hope you'll get this one. Who murdered John the Baptist?
Who murdered John the Baptist? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, Herod.
There you go. It's King
Herod. King Herod. Poor John the Baptist. There's whole other religions just about John the Baptist. Is
that true?
There's people in Iraq that still worship John the Baptist. Yeah.
JTB?
Yeah, JTB. Yeah.
What's it? What's that? What are those religions called?
I think they're called Mandians. They used to be really prominent. Now they just live in these swamps in Iraq. There's like 100,000 left or something.
I just learned two things. There's a religion where they worship John the Baptist, and there's swamps in Iraq. I had no
That's
idea.
exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I didn't even know there's swamps in Iraq, dude. I think you just made up a whole story. Right now.
The Tigris and Euphrates River, between them, there's like these swamps that are like real. It's like in Lord of the Rings, those swamps they have to go through. That's what it's like.
Called the cradle of civilization, Geoff.
Yes, the cradle of civilization. Yeah.
Which one do you like better, the Tigris or the Euphrates?
Euphrates is the better word. That's just a cool word, Euphrates. That'd be a good name. That'd be a good name.
Yeah. What do you, when it comes to rivers in China, you like you go Yangtze
or what?
Other one?
You don't even know the other one.
What's the other one?
The Yellow River, I think, would be the other big one.
No, that's racist. Don't say that.
I honestly think that's.
You're not back
name.
in high school, Geoff. Don't
I
say.
honestly think that's the name. I might be wrong, but I think it is. Give me the next question.
My old man didn't go to that continent for you to say things like that. All right.
Did he actually serve?
Did he serve? Yes, he did. It
Which
killed
war?
him. In Vietnam, and it killed him.
Really?
The agent
he was serving pancakes, waffle fries, like top 5 server, dude.
He was a server for 4 decades.
My dad was so good, you could tell him his order, he wouldn't even write it down. He fucking remembered. He did it right every time.
Wow.
And that's what made the Ho Chi Minh City TGI Fridays number 1.
They put those POWs to work.
Okay. Who took Jesus's body off the cross?
Is there just Mary, Peter? I don't know. One of the disciples. I don't know which one.
It wasn't a disciple.
What? Roman soldiers?
No, it was Joseph of Arimathea.
Oh,
which I know from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That's the guy who the Mormons claim made it to America, and that's why they say there's Mormons.
I hate everybody.
I don't think that's true.
It's not true. It's not true. They made it up, but that's what they say. They have Mormonism's a whole other bag.
Oh yeah, the LDS Church, yeah, Joseph Smith, that guy.
Yeah. They have all these stories about horses in America and white civilizations, and it's all. What are you talking about? They're crazy.
It's the most racist religion just in the book.
Oh yeah.
Like on the page, like what they think black people are is fucking wild.
They only like recently said that was no longer the case.
Really?
Like 20 years ago or something.
That's
it was while I was in like Utah, actually.
Oh yeah, Ken went to
really?
State. Yeah. Oh my god.
They had like just black people could just now get like they could go into their like sacred parts of the church, but you still were not allowed to go to like the highest tier of heaven.
What? What? In a separate heaven? Jesus.
Yeah. You know,
also, it's like at that point, if you're just letting black people join the church, why would you want to join?
I don't know. That confused the shit out of me all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they are not
it's like
good.
an exclusive club, you know? Like if they won't let everybody in and then they're just like, you made it through the VIP section. And you're like, I made it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I want you to go to the worst possible champagne room.
But still a champagne.
There's no champagne.
Oh yeah, they can't have. Yeah, it's
anything.
Shirley Temples.
Man, the worst. My biggest fear when I go to airports is accidentally being near a white dude with a white shirt and a black tie and black pants and white socks because they're not going to stop. They will not stop talking to you.
Yeah, they'll try to convert everyone they meet.
Oh.
It's the fastest growing religion in the world, fastest growing by far.
I appreciate the numbers game. I appreciate the effort. I just want to have a $15 Big Mac and get on the fucking plane.
They do numbers in Southeast Asia. They're growing massively.
Really?
Yeah, the Asian population loves Mormonism. I don't know why exactly.
That's where they put? Is that where they're sending people on?
That's just where their message has been working the best.
Though. Yeah, they send them everywhere. Literally every corner of the earth. They're just like
they have to do it for 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, so like if you don't get married, so like when you hit 18, is it 18? Yeah, it's like 18, 20. Before you hit 20, they want you to go on a mission. So if you don't get married before you're like 20, like you should go on a mission. So like that's why a lot of the Mormons get married so young, because they're like
do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why everyone on the BYU football team is 25.
Yeah.
True.
It helps when you got grown man muscle out there.
Right. I didn't know about that. Wow.
If there's a good chance the Lions are going to draft a quarterback, and if they take that friggin' dork from BYU, I'm still going to watch every week. How dare they?
Of course they will. You guys are the worst franchise in any sport of all time.
So bad. And this new coach we just hired, everyone's excited because his press conference was very animated. And he said, if they knock us down, we're going to bite their kneecaps. If they knock us down again, we're going to bite their kneecaps again. And it's like, let's just not get knocked down. Every single Detroit coach, every single Detroit coach that's been hired since 1987 has had the same line of like, we're going to mirror the image of the city. We're going to have this, like, let's just win. I just want to win. Everyone's rebuilding at the same time. Let's just fucking win.
Did you finally hire a coach that wasn't a rapist?
Yeah. They fired Matt.
Because the last guy wasn't he?
Yeah. Matt Patricia was.
He was. Yeah.
And the local news media referred to him as a Me Too case, which is just dismissive and very crappy. Matt Patricia.
Not good.
Anyway, we got one more question.
Give me one more.
What was the Apostle Matthew's job?
Wow. Oh, fisherman. No, not fisherman.
He was one of what I like to call. He was one of Jesus's baddies.
Baddies?
Yeah. So he had a bad guy job.
Was he a tax collector?
Yes, he was. Geoffrey.
Oh, okay.
Great job.
Yeah, someone else was a fisherman then.
Yeah. I think they all dabbled.
Well, he was like, "I'll make you a fisher of men," the famous Jesus quote.
Yeah. Well, I love to fish around Jesus. You catch one thing, all of a sudden you got 15, baby.
Yeah. Always a good day with Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, you got 3 out of 5. That means we're giving $25 to my block.
Oh shit!
Which we do every time.
Oh, good. I thought I lost money. Jesus.
No. Here's the thing. Right. I realized after a couple of these, if we don't give the full 25, we're dicks.
Yeah. God.
Like, we can't hold people to this quiz that I didn't even write. So
or you could do it the other way, where if people get things wrong, you give less money to the Proud Boys.
Or you start off with $25 and you're like, all right, every question you get wrong,
money goes to the Proud Boys.
Yeah. 2 + 2 does equal fish sticks. You're right. Geoffrey, a joy as always. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Find you the album. Tell them everything.
I got it.
Before we do that, I'm so sorry. Headmaster Ken Hamlett, please give us a grade for today.
Yeah. Grade for the day. You know what? I wanted you to get a little bit more deep. You didn't. You touched some of your trauma, the deodorant thing. I'm giving you a lower grade because you refused to wear deodorant for so many years and like was very headstrong about it.
Yeah, very bad.
I'm gonna give a B+ though. This is a very good episode. Actually, you know what? I'm bumping it to A-. The roasting had me in stitches early on, but that you can't get an A because there was the deodorant. I got off against you.
I'll take an A-. That's what I deserve. I like that.
I love it. Plug your stuff now.
Okay. Well, what day is it? What did you say? You said it came on in January. In my in my introduction. I didn't even know what that was a pun on.
Nothing.
Well, I got an album coming out on 800 Pound Gorilla Records. It's comedy, unfortunately, though I am a gifted folk singer.
You can shred. You're
It's
a good
called,
guitarist.
I can sing. No, I can't. It's called Prodigal Little Bitch. I think it's really funny. It's got a lot of, well, I only say the R word once in it, but it's tasteful. It's tasteful and it's very well done. I'll have you know. So if that's what you like, hey, go grab a copy on iTunes or Spotify, I think. I don't know
Yeah,
actually.
buy it on Spotify though. We want you to get the money.
Oh yeah. Go on iTunes. Yeah, you're right. Buy it on iTunes. Yeah.
There's probably a version you can get on Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon. It'll be on Amazon, Pandora too, but that's free also. Don't do that one.
And I tell you what, if you only want to listen on Spotify, just Venmo Geoff $7 or whatever.
Yeah, there we go. That's what it should be. There we go.
Ken, at Kendall Hamlett on Instagram.
No, I think it's just at Ken Hamlett, just Ken, no Dale on there. Yeah. And my website, bigblackschlongs.com.
All right, baby.
Oh
Yeah.
At the Mike O'Keefe on Instagram and Twitter, at Ed Schmed Pod. Follow the podcast. If you want to match our donation, that would be amazing. Send me a receipt. We'll shout you out on the show. We'll induct you into the Mike O'Keefe Shrine of Admiration. We had one person so far, two people actually. One, Mary Ellen O'Keefe with a bullet. Way to go. Our guest from our episode that dropped today, the great Elliot Ray Hall, matched our donation to Bridge for Youth. So Elliot Ray Hall, welcome to the Circle of Admiration. I'm Mike O'Keefe. I have a crush on Danny Fernandez. Ass dismissed.
Baxley used to do a story. He would come out at Christmas and play a rapper named Chimney. He had a hoodie on and he would have these terrible rhymes. And he had bulbs, like tree bulb, like ornament bulbs around his neck, and he would rap. And then he had a girl do a voice from the sound booth, and he would do his rap, get no laugh, and then you just hear this girl over the loudspeaker go, "Chimney's got the backdoor key." They were like nonsensical phrases that he'd written down that like were non sequiturs. Did you be like, "Two-hole 'em, Chimney, two-hole 'em," and no one understood what was going on. And he would do these things strictly for the side of the room or the back of the room.
Yeah.
All of us are like, I mean, funniest human being. It's too bad because he's struggled with his alcoholism and stuff, and the sky's the limit for a dude with that kind of talent, But even those types of people, long story short, or long story long, made me want to be a comic.
Well, I mean, but honestly, that does go back to what your drama teacher said about allowing yourself to be silly and be crazy.
Yeah.
And
to be in the moment.
To be in the moment. And that sort of presence of mind to kind of get rid of all of the other constructs of what's going on and just do what you feel like you need to do. I think that is one of the most important things that you can tell a young performer. More importantly, tell a young person, because I think it's so easy right now to get, like, I'm literally looking at 4 screens right now. And that's it's
But they're all of yourself.
it's all of me, of course.
Yeah.
It's all me looking at my Instagram.
Varying angles of your head, and
But just being able, like, just
Yeah.
anytime anyone can get into the moment, and that's why I think meditation is a great tool and a great
Yeah.
technique.
I mean, I say
And,
it all the
and that's
time.
the same thing in an odd way, you know.
Yeah, jokes are gonna make you popular with a crowd, but it's the in the moment stuff that's gonna make you a legend with your peers.
Yeah.
And that's the shit. That's the shit we talk about. You know,
Yeah.
I think as comics amongst ourselves is, did you see what Fucknuts did the other night on stage? You should, I mean, he was up in the scaffolding. The crowd hated it. I mean, yeah, they didn't get it. But I mean, he's hanging fully up. You know, it's shit like that. Or like Rory. I remember going to a festival and seeing Rory Scovel not explain on the TV taping why he's doing a German accent.
Oh yeah, I've seen him do that.
Like, what? Why are you doing it? He never explained it to the crowd, never qualified it, just did a 10-minute TV set and did not tell anybody why he was speaking in this fake in a German accent. Like, he just did it. And we all buzzed about that for most of the. Did you see what Rory did? It was a TV taping. Like, that's a new level of like staying in the moment, where, because the crowd was like, what is this dude's, what's he doing? You know, like, yeah, this is very crazy. Yeah, and like never qualified it at all.
Have you
And
seen the Storage Wars? I watched Star Wars.
Have you watched Storage Wars? Yeah, it was insane. And I remember being like, we were all down and watching it on monitors, like, I'm not gonna go up there and like go off. I'm gonna wield through my pre-written jokes, you know. But
yeah. Well, I also think, if you know, and it's such an odd thing to talk about what audience is like 10 months into a pandemic, but I think good audiences full of people who like comedy love you being in the moment as much as any comic.
Those are the best. I mean, it's the off the cuff shit that, I mean, look at what Big J Okerson has done with his career of just parlaying like crowd work into like a full career of like what he does. I mean, because that's so popular, people, you know, they love that. They think it's quick, and they are like, you know, yeah.
Is he doing well though? Guy can't afford a full glove, you know. That's not fair.
I'm glad we burned him.
Yeah, I'm taking him down a peg or two. Remember that scumbag left? How about nice guy left?
Yeah, I miss crowds.
Oh yeah.
This is, I love doing this and I love chatting with friends, but it's not doing it.
I've started to do more and more Zoom sets over the last like maybe month, just because I'm like, I think I just need to do a simulated version of stand-up. Like, it's not the real thing. There's no way to possibly reconstruct actual stand-up, but you know,
like I've done a few like stand-up Zoom shows, and they've killed my soul.
They're not. I mean, it's like
I don't.
You know.
Yeah.
Not fun. But it's I write for them, which is good. That's
it's like having to go to the bathroom really bad, and then being forced to subsist on just a fart.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you're like, we'll just pass some, like, let some farts out. And now, no, this, I have to relieve the full entirety of this.
I have to paint the bowl, baby.
Are they doing anything in Chicago?
No, everything's closed down.
Oh, they just opened up, man.
Okay, so are the clubs? I know 25 people is like the max they can let in somewhere.
Yeah, it's like 25% capacity now. So like a couple of, I just saw somebody post about it the other day. Because I thought we weren't gonna open until like March, honestly, but I guess we're at like 25% capacity now. So some people are doing some indoor bar type show stuff.
I mean, just because of my family situation, I have to wait until I get vaxxed up just so I don't kill my mom or Mallory's parents.
I mean, that's why I haven't been home either. I mean, my parents, I want to be careful with that. Some members of my family that have better health than others. So, but yeah, I was supposed to come to Chicago to do shows, and it would have been cool to hang face to face. I miss like the green room chatter. I actually miss that. I miss going to a club and sitting and having a meal before my show and like talking to the feature and the MC about stand up, like those things that I probably took for granted, or sometimes I'd be like, I kind of want a little quiet tonight or whatever. Like I would kind of retreat a little bit. Now I'm like, I would love that. I would eat that up right now, So
speaking of stuff you love, we got to do the quiz real quick, and then we got to get out of here. This has been a lovely chat. This has been a real good time.
Oh no.
A keeper, baby. Guess what? I'm gonna ask you some UFC questions. How's that grab you?
UFC question.
All right, I'll do my best.
Ben loves the fight game. He loves the sweet science.
I love it. And you say that, and then I have the tattoos, and it makes it sound like I'm this. Yeah, I love jujitsu. It is like my passion.
Yeah,
because it's very good for my anxiety. I have a panic disorder, and so like I tend to have anxiety and panic attacks very easily, and it's the thing that's kept me. So, and I hate fighting, but I love the sport of fighting. I think is, but much like, I will say this, much like the band Tool, ruined by its fans.
Oh yeah,
like
Like
great. I actually think Tool released like 3 pretty great albums. I can admit that, but ruined by fans of Tool. All right, let's do it. UFC questions. Oh man.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. And I'm almost afraid to get these wrong, right? Because it says something about me.
No, it doesn't. Who cares?
Right. Here we go.
All right, number 1. Who are the only 2 fighters to wear UFC gold in 2 different weight classes? I should say I don't know the answers to any of these. I don't know any of these people. I like pro wrestling and soccer. I don't know anything about this, but I did Google these questions. So there we go.
Anyway. Conor McGregor in 2 different weight classes.
Yeah.
And Daniel Cormier.
You said Randy Couture and BJ Penn, right? Again, this is for charity.
No. I didn't. Oh, UFC gold?
Yeah.
In 2 different weight classes. They're not the only 2.
They were when this quiz was written.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. But I'll take it. I'm sure I know Connor did, because that's a person that I have to follow.
Champ, and then Daniel Cormier did it. And then I think Amanda Nunes has now done it.
I was gonna say Amanda, yeah.
Amanda's done it since then. There's been a few champs, but anyway, I got it wrong. But if I had known it was older, yeah, go ahead. What's the next one?
Okay.
Now
Also,
I know the era.
What charity are you playing for? I forgot to ask you.
Oh yeah, Elevating Connections, or it's a Camp to Belong, the group of people that work with foster children because in Colorado, foster kids that are siblings can be separated into different foster homes. So Elevating Connections works with these organizations to bring foster family members, siblings together for connecting events throughout the year. So and once a year they go to camp for a week, Camp to Belong, and they spend a week at camp with their siblings, and it's an amazing cause. So
love it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. All right, question number 2.
Yeah,
who is the first UFC champ ever?
Would be Royce Gracie.
There you go.
Yeah, number 1. And he actually holds the record for most UFC tournaments won, because it was a tournament style before. So, and he holds the UFC record for most wins in a single evening. He won 4 fights in one night.
That's crazy.
because they used to have to fight in a tournament style. Now it's just by weight class and bouts.
Do you remember watching Ken Shamrock fight?
I loved Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as one can like Ken Shamrock, he's
Kind of
an ass.
Douche now.
But watching him fight, to me, he was the first true mixed martial artist.
Oh,
And his gym, the Lion's Den, was, a notorious, like, blood-soaked factory of just dudes that just beat the shit out of each other. But they were the first to incorporate striking and sambo and wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and they like made it into this hodgepodge of a full, well-rounded fight thing to me. Like, he and Frank, his brother, Frank was a great fighter too. Anywho, all right, I could keep going on that.
Okay,
next one.
Yeah, here we go. Who is the first fighter to defeat Chuck Liddell inside the octagon?
Was Randy Couture.
I have Jeremy Horn.
Oh, that's right. You're right. It was Jeremy Horn. And that was a huge upset. Like, it was a big one and
The
kind of a
Buster Douglas
wake-up
of his
call for him, because he kind of surged after that. But yeah, I fucking forgot about that. That's crazy. Wow, I was stumped on that one. Good call. I just dove headfirst into it. I actually met Chuck Liddell at a Dave & Buster's in Denver, Colorado, speedball machine, because his fiance or whoever at that point is from Colorado. And this wasn't that long ago. And I was playing skee ball and we're rolling the ball, my wife and I, and my son's there. And I just, you're just kind of turn, and Chuck Liddell is standing at the skee ball thing beside me. And I was like, yeah, Crystal. And she was like, my wife is named Crystal. She was like, what? And I'm like, Chuck Liddell beside me? Is that goddamn Chuck Liddell? And she was like, yeah, you need to calm down. And I was like, the Iceman. And so I turned to him, and I don't know why, I just went, sweating edge, nice to meet you, champ. And I didn't know what to say. It was so awkward. Like, he was very nice. He was like, hey man, nice to meet you. And then he took off, but immediately people recognized who he was. I mean, he had the mohawk and the tattoo down his head.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's a mountain of a human being.
He's very big. I met Bob Seger at a Pistons game once, and I was in line behind him to get a beer, and I just went, oh man, dude, night moves. And he went, yeah, that was a good one. And then he poured some salt on the top of his beer to get rid of the foam, and he walked away. That's my Bob Seger story. Perfect. That's all I want from him.
I didn't say that to, like, I did that I don't give a shit if I'm not like I was not like a huge fan of your stuff when I was younger or whatever. If I don't have some emotional connection, I'm just normal, like. But man, I creeped Henry Rollins out. Man, did I creep Rollins out when he came on to do Those Who Can't. It's a deep regret of mine. He won't remember it, but he had to ask me to give him some time.
Oh boy. Yeah. I basically
changed that. That was like an album for my life, TV party. I could go on and on. And can I get a photo? And he goes, do you mind if we film something first before we do photos? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Oh, and by the way, you're playing my alter ego. Like, you're kind of playing me on the other side. I'll go.
Yeah. I punch so many mirrors because I love you.
But yeah, I love that. Do we have one more?
Yeah, two more. We'll go over.
Yes, I love this because I loved the UFC questions. Okay.
This is a UFC adjacent question. Why was Matt Riddle, kicked out of UFC?
No, wait, he wasn't kicked out for weed, was he? It was marijuana.
Yeah.
So both like Nate Diaz too.
Yeah.
Or Nick Diaz, I'm sorry. But
kicked out for weed?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Diaz was suspended for a crazy long time for that. That's such a dumb arbitrary.
Well, now it's not. They don't even test for it anymore as of like a week ago, right?
Yeah, well, and fighters who they kicked out an apology because like Riddle, like Diaz, they kicked some really solid fighters out for something that doesn't enhance your performance in any manner.
Yeah. I think Riddle was like 10-2 when they kicked him out too. Like he was
a fantastic fighter. I mean, it wasn't like, I don't know that he would have ever been champion, but he would have definitely fought for a long time in the UFC. And that was a fun fighter to watch too. And ditto, I mean, when you look at what Nick Diaz went through, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, yeah. All right, hit me with that last one.
And back when Riddle wrestled on the indies, because he's a professional wrestler now, when he would wrestle on like independent shows, if you gave him an edible, he'd give you some free merchandise. So
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Have you met him before?
A couple times. Yeah.
Is he a nice guy?
He is Matt Riddle 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just like he's Spicoli. Yeah. Anyway, this one is 100% just a WWE question, but you can probably guess it. Who did Brock Lesnar beat for his first WWE title?
Is it Kurt Angle?
No. That's so close though. It should have been, but it was The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
SummerSlam 2002.
Now I know why you're doing that. Damn. Everybody loves The Rock.
He's so charismatic and handsome.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really thought it was Kurt Angle.
What are you gonna do?
Did Kurt Angle have the belt?
Kurt Angle won the title a number of times. Yeah.
I for sure thought it was Kurt Angle too.
While, right? Like,
let me double check because I looked this up. I'm pretty sure it was Dwayne. I call him Dwayne because we're buddies.
Buds.
Yeah.
We hang out at the. I go, isn't it so cool that you're cool?
I call him DJ, but he prefers that. He likes it. I met like Kurt Angle did Those Who Can't, and man, what a nice dude. Like the nicest guy. And here's how crazy this dude is. Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
It was. Kurt Angle did our show. Just he played
the opposing wrestling coach. Yeah.
Yeah, the opposing team's wrestling coach. And he loses his shit and rips his clothes off and he goes fucking mental and throws people around. It's great. And he was so funny and so kind and gracious during it. I think like a year and a half later, Adam was at DIA and he hears somebody yell across the terminal, like, Adam! And Adam is like, turns around and it's fucking Kurt Angle.
That's
like, and he remembered. I mean, that guy does how much stuff he doesn't.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Small show like that.
Go on.
But,
sorry.
No. That was, I mean, just like, he still sometimes will like message me, like he'll message me on Twitter, you know, like, and just say, how's it going? You know, like, hope you're doing well. And he hyped Those Who Can't when it came out on HBO Max. I was like, this guy is the nicest dude, like, and genuine. Yeah. And we talked wrestling and jujitsu and MMA. He's like a big nut about it. So.
Oh, he's the real deal. Like he's, you know,
he's one of the greatest American wrestlers of all time. I mean, and he's built like it. He's not very big.
Yeah, he's only a couple inches taller than I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. And his neck was fucked when he was there. Yeah. He had a big scar down it. And,
yeah. Well, he had a couple fusions or something, I believe.
Yeah. And he was saying, because he would, in between takes, he would lay down in the ring and he would put his neck up on the turnbuckle to kind of keep his neck up like that because the pain, I guess, is pretty constant. But never complained, was funny, was gracious, got the joke. Like, and I mean, obviously being in the WWE, he's performed for a long time. So, but it was and arguably the most popular person we've ever had on set. I've never seen, everybody was so stoked. Like, I didn't get that much into wrestling, but you get behind the camera people, that's like wrestling country. Like,
oh my God. Yeah. Well, there's
camera people, like,
something happened in 2014 when every comedian, like, we all just decided, well, we like wrestling now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it nonstop.
Oh yeah, Andy Peters, I thought was gonna shit his pants.
Peters
I
loves
mean,
it.
it's like, you got the real Kurt Angle, you know what I mean? And here's the perfect example. I don't watch wrestling, so I had fantastic conversations with
Oh,
him
of course. Yeah.
because I didn't understand how big a deal it was. Like I just thought, hey, he's a really nice guy, and he appears to be somewhat famous to people. And like, I didn't realize that this guy is massive. Like kids on school property, like were like, "Holy fuck, it's Kurt Angle!" Like, and I just am like, I was like, so I know you were a wrestler. I do know you wrestle. Like you were an Olympic. Like, do you watch much jujitsu or what? And he's like, man, I watch ADCC. Like and I was like, we just geeked out on grappling.
He was also in that movie Warrior. Do you remember the movie Warrior?
Yeah.
He played the
was
Russian dude.
A good actor. I thought he was a good actor. He's
in a couple like B movies that WWE made where he's like the best part of this movie that's about jet skis. I think he's good, you know.
Dude, I wish he put that quote on his Twitter feed.
Yeah.
The best part of a movie about jet skis. But yeah. Well, I'm sorry I didn't do as well on the quiz as I had hoped, but
guess what? They're still getting $25 from me, huh?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Who
cares? It'd be weird if we stuck to the thing.
They're an amazing organization, and if anybody can check out what Elevating Connections does, please do, because they're and what Camp To Belong does. They're amazing. So
love it. Well, that's the show. Thank you so much.
We made it through it.
We did it. We fucking killed it, buddy.
One take this time.
That shit can go. Can go. G-O-O-O-O-O. Shit
that guy can't go. He can go.
Go.
That man can go.
That can go. Those Who Can't is on HBO Max.
Yep.
Grawlix Saves the World.
3 seasons available for streaming. Grawlix Saves the World podcast is on Starburns Audio. If you get a chance, check it out. And then All Things Comedy, my podcast, Daddy Sheva Die, The Rat Race,